Today we will talk about managing human resources globally. The global business environment is increasingly competitive and interconnected, leading companies to seek expansion into international markets for several reasons. 1. New markets. Companies expand internationally to tap into new markets with many potential customers, which can help them increase sales and profits, especially if they are currently producing below their capacity. 2. Lower labor costs. By building production facilities in countries with lower labor costs, companies can reduce expenses. For instance, factories in Mexico can offer low-skilled labor at a cost lower than in the United States. 3. Technological advancements. The rapid growth in telecommunications and information technology allows for more efficient and effective global operations. Companies can hire highly skilled workers at lower costs in countries like India, where the wage for a college graduate can be as low as $2.00 an hour compared to $12.18 in the United States. This also facilitates a continuous work process across different time zones. However, companies must carefully consider the risks and challenges of entering new markets, such as understanding local cultures, languages, and customs. A product's success in one country does not guarantee success in another. Additionally, companies often relocate factories to benefit from cheaper labor and maintain high-quality production standards. The need for competitive advantage through effective human resource management in a global economy can be highlighted by several developments. 1. European Union (EU) integration. European countries have historically managed their economies individually, leading to intertwined economies due to proximity. However, differing regulations across countries pose challenges for international businesses. 2. European Economic Community (EEC). Established in 1992, the EEC is a confederation of European nations that agreed to free trade and regulated commerce through the European Commission. This led to more uniform legal regulations among member countries, although not completely standardized. 3. Euro currency. Since 1999, EEC members adopted the euro as a common currency, further integrating their economies and tying their economic fates together. 4. Brexit. The UK's departure from the EU, known as Brexit, has introduced new complexities. It affects human resource management, particularly in terms of workforce mobility, immigration, and the need for businesses to adapt to new regulations outside the EU framework. However, organizations must effectively manage human resources to gain a competitive edge in the global economy, considering the integration within the EU, the standardization efforts through the EC, and the implications of Brexit on business operations and workforce management. The North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, was a trade alliance formed between Canada, the United States, and Mexico to create one of the world's largest free trade zones, surpassing even the European Economic Community in size. NAFTA, which came into effect in 1994, aimed to eliminate most tariffs on trade between the three countries, fostering economic growth through increased trade and investment. Key points of NAFTA. Expansion of trade. NAFTA expanded the existing 1989 Free Trade Agreement between the U.S. and Canada to include Mexico, promoting economic growth through open markets. Maquiladora plants. These manufacturing plants in Mexico exemplify NAFTA's impact, where U.S. companies took advantage of lower labor costs. Employment effects. NAFTA led to a shift in employment within the U.S., with many low-skilled jobs moving to Mexico, while simultaneously increasing opportunities for higher-skilled workers. Asia's economic landscape is rapidly changing, impacting global corporations. Japan has been a dominant force for over 2 decades, shaping both regional and global markets. Meanwhile, other Asian economies like Singapore, Hong Kong, and Malaysia have emerged as influential players, bolstering Asia's global presence. China, in particular, stands out with its vast market potential. Its population of over 1 billion and shift towards market liberalization make it an attractive destination for foreign investment. Observers anticipate China's economy surpassing that of the United States, driven by ongoing reforms and immense growth opportunities. The General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, GATT, established in 1947, aimed to bolster global trade by minimizing barriers like tariffs and quotas. GATT facilitated negotiations among member nations to lower trade barriers and ensure fair practices, fostering economic growth and development through trade liberalization. GATT's core focus was on cutting import tariffs, enhancing accessibility to goods, and fostering a competitive global trade environment. Through various rounds of negotiations, notably the Uruguay round in 1994, GATT evolved into the World Trade Organization, WTO, which oversees international trade regulations and dispute resolutions. The WTO serves as a platform for member nations to negotiate agreements, resolve disputes, and monitor trade policies. Its structured dispute settlement mechanism ensures adherence to trade rules, promoting stability and predictability in the global trading system. Overall, GATT and its successor, the WTO, have played pivotal roles in fostering global trade, economic cooperation, and integration by reducing barriers and establishing rules for fair and transparent trade practices. As you see, this figure delves into the 4 primary factors significantly shaping HRM in international markets. It emphasizes that companies venturing into global markets must acknowledge that these markets do not merely mirror their home country's characteristics. Rather, countries vary across multiple dimensions, impacting the appeal of direct foreign investment in each. These discrepancies dictate the economic feasibility of establishing operations in foreign locales, exerting a pronounced influence on HRM within those operations. Researchers in international management have pinpointed several factors influencing HRM in global markets. As such, the focus here is on 4 key elements: culture, education and human capital, the political and legal system, and the economic system. Culture is a shared set of often implicit assumptions and beliefs within a community that shapes its worldview and values. It plays a crucial role in human resource management, HRM, for 2 main reasons. 1. Determinant of HRM factors. Culture influences the legal framework, human capital, and economic systems of a country, which in turn affect HRM practices. For example, if a culture highly values education, there will be a collective effort to enhance human capital. 2. Effectiveness of HRM practices. The success of HRM strategies is heavily dependent on cultural context. Practices effective in one culture may not translate well to another due to differing beliefs and values. For instance, in the US, HRM often focuses on individual performance and rewards, while in Japan, the emphasis is on group harmony and collective goals, making individual-based evaluations less effective. Okay. Implications of culture for HRM. Culture plays a significant role in shaping management approaches and human resource practices across diverse countries. Cultural norms influence how leaders conduct themselves, make decisions, and motivate employees. For instance, German managers may prioritize task completion and problem solving, while their Dutch counterparts may value consensus and collective input. Moreover, cultural orientation towards individualism or collectivism impacts the effectiveness of HRM systems. In individualistic cultures like the US, HRM practices may focus on evaluating individual technical and social skills. Conversely, in collectivist cultures, emphasis is placed on how well an individual integrates with the group. The economic health of a country is also influenced by its cultural values, as highlighted by Hofstede. These values can either support or hinder economic growth, thus impacting the overall economic well-being of the nation. Additionally, cultural characteristics affect the perception and efficacy of HRM practices. What may be successful in one culture may not be suitable in another due to varying underlying values and expectations. Human capital, encompassing the expertise, competencies, and experience of individuals, holds immense significance for companies eyeing international expansion. It profoundly influences their decision-making process, impacting their ability to recruit and maintain a skilled workforce, thereby playing a central role in HRM considerations. The educational infrastructure within a country significantly shapes its human capital landscape, with government-funded education systems, like in the Netherlands, fostering higher education accessibility and enhancing human capital. Conversely, nations with limited investments in education, such as Haiti, often struggle with lower levels of human capital, potentially deterring foreign investment in high-skill operations. Countries with lower human capital levels may attract businesses reliant on low-skilled labor due to more favorable wage expectations, leading to strategic relocation decisions, as seen with U.S. companies moving jobs to Mexico. Japan's unique approach involves outsourcing low-skill tasks while preserving high-skill positions domestically, showcasing nuanced human capital management strategies. Moreover, nations boasting high human capital levels are attractive destinations for direct foreign investment aimed at creating high-skilled jobs, underscoring the economic benefits associated with a skilled workforce. Ultimately, human capital emerges as a critical factor shaping global market strategies, guiding investment decisions and operational frameworks based on the availability of skilled labor. The legal system of a country significantly influences HRM practices, shaping areas such as training, compensation, hiring, and firing. These regulations, influenced by societal norms, reflect expectations of acceptable workplace behavior. For instance, the U.S. legal framework addresses discrimination through equal employment opportunities and anti-discrimination laws. HR professionals use this framework to ensure compliance and protect employee rights, adapting practices to reflect legal requirements. Legal systems vary globally, reflecting cultural and historical contexts. HR practitioners operating internationally must navigate these differences to ensure legal compliance and maintain positive work environments. The economic system profoundly influences HRM by shaping human capital development and compensation structures. Here's how. Incentives for human capital. Economic systems offer incentives like education subsidies and tax benefits to encourage individuals to enhance their skills, contributing to the development of human capital. Impact on HRM health. The economic system's overall health impacts HRM practices. A robust economy fosters investments in employee development, while a struggling one may necessitate cost-cutting measures, taxes and compensation. Economic systems determine tax structures for compensation packages, guiding companies to design competitive yet cost-effective packages. Influence on pay systems. Economic systems dictate pay scales, minimum wage levels, and pay equity, shaping compensation strategies aligned with economic conditions. Cultural and economic integration. Cultural values drive economic policies, impacting HRM practices, especially in human capital development, influenced by a country's economic system. In the context of international business, there are three types of countries related to the operation of multinational companies. 1. Parent country. This is the country where a company's corporate headquarters is situated. For instance, if General Motors (GM) is headquartered in the United States, then the US is GM's parent country. 2. Host country. This refers to any country where the parent company operates a facility outside of its home base. For example, Great Britain would be a host country for GM if GM has established operations there. 3. Third country. This is a country that is neither the parent country nor a host country. A company may choose to engage with a third country for various business activities, such as sourcing materials or as part of its supply chain, even if it does not have a physical facility there. In the realm of international business, employees are often classified based on their relationship with the company's operations and their country of origin. Typically, expatriates are individuals sent abroad by their company to oversee operations in a different country, a term that has evolved with the globalization of businesses. Parent country nationals, PCNs, are employees originating from the country where the company's headquarters is located. For example, an American working for a US-based company in France would be considered a PCN. Conversely, host country nationals, HCNs, are native to the country where the company operates, excluding their headquarters location. For instance, a French employee working for a US-based company in France is categorized as an HCN. Lastly, third country nationals, TCNs, are individuals who neither originate from the parent country nor the host country, but are employed in the host country. An example would be a Canadian working for a US-based company in France. These classifications are pivotal for multinational companies in effectively managing and strategizing their international workforce. They enable companies to navigate the diverse legal, cultural, and economic landscapes associated with each type of international employee. Okay. This diagram illustrates the different levels of a company's participation in global markets, categorized as domestic, international, multinational, and global. It depicts the progression from operating solely within the parent country to having a widespread presence in multiple host countries. Let's break down these global participation levels. 1. Domestic level. Companies primarily operate within their home country, focusing on the local market. HRM considerations include factors like local labor markets, cultural diversity, educational systems, and pay rates. Managing cultural diversity within domestic organizations is increasingly important. 2. International level. Companies expand into international markets due to domestic competition. This expansion may involve exporting products initially and later establishing production facilities in other countries. HRM challenges intensify, requiring management of human resources in diverse locations. 3. Multinational level. Companies become multinational by establishing facilities in multiple countries to benefit from cost advantages. This level involves addressing cultural, educational, legal, and economic differences across various countries. HRM practices adapt to these differences by selecting capable managers, providing training, and designing compensation systems tailored to each context. 4. Global level. At the global level, a transnational HRM system emerges, characterized by a global perspective in decision-making, multinational representation among managers, and integration of diverse cultural perspectives. The complexity of HRM issues increases, necessitating effective strategies for managing human resources across borders, including recruitment, training, compensation, and cultural integration. Managing expatriate managers involves addressing several key challenges, starting with the selection process. While technical competence is crucial, it shouldn't be the sole criterion. Successful performance across cultures requires a range of skills categorized into self, relationship, and perception dimensions, with cultural intelligence, CQ, playing a vital role. Despite the importance of accurate selection, evidence suggests that U.S. companies have not always invested enough effort in this area, often relying on stereotypes rather than individual capabilities. Once selected, expatriate managers need adequate preparation through cross-cultural training to navigate new environments effectively. Determining compensation packages for expatriates presents another challenge, typically addressed through a balance sheet approach. This approach aims to equalize purchasing power with counterparts in the home country and provides incentives to offset challenges faced in the host location. The re-entry process into the home country after an assignment poses its own set of challenges. Reacculturation can be complex, as both the expatriate and the organization have undergone changes. Effective communication and support from the organization are crucial during this phase, including regular contact while abroad and recognition upon return. Overall, managing expatriate managers requires careful consideration of selection criteria, cross-cultural training, fair compensation, and support throughout the re-entry process. By addressing these aspects, organizations can enhance the success and effectiveness of their expatriate managers in global markets.
Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe to channel.